Asics Megablast versus the Adidas ADIZERO EVO SL. A video requested by numerous viewers. Many of you have asked for an in-depth comparison on these two models. Some people are saying that either of these might be the shoe of the year in 2025. Which is the best? Does the Megablast warrant the extra 80 quid that we've got to pay? Which should you buy? Let's find out. Stats on screen for my UK 11 or US 11.5 pairs, at least for the Adidas shoe. The Asics one is actually a US 12 for that size, so on paper the Megablast has a much more significant stack, 45mm in the smaller sample size versus the supposed 38mm of the sample size in the EVO SL. As you can see, I've measured my pair of the EVO SL and they come in about 39mm in the heel, so a little bit strange there. Adidas measurements a bit off. I always use the same technique to measure the midsole stacks and they've never been wrong so far. Both have got an 8mm drop, though the Megablast is quite a bit wider in the forefoot and especially in the heel in terms of surface area over the EVO SL. The foams are similar here in terms of the feel. There's a bit more bounce to the Flight Foam Turbo Squared in the Megablast. It's just a little bit quicker to return to form, not quite as dense. The Light Strike Pro in the EVO SL does take a little bit of break in, around about 100 kilometers at the moment in my pair, and they feel nice and soft and compressive. Just for clarity, Asics have sent me this shoe for review, but I purchased the EVO SL with my own cash. We'll start off with the uppers first. The upper on the Megablast are a little bit thinner than that on the EVO SL. A little bit more flexible and breathable too. We've got gusseting on both sides of the tongue in the Megablast, none on the EVO SL. Serrated laces here and flat, very thin laces on the EVO SL. I did get some tongue slide, which I was unable to alleviate really. On those longer runs where the miles tot up, I always seem to get some slide over to the lateral side. I did replace the laces too with some serrated ones with an old pair of Alphafly Next Percent shoes. That did improve the lockdown. The thinner laces just aren't really up to the task. I have put the thinner ones, the originals, back in here. If they moved the loop that we've got on the tongue a little bit further up to the sort of business end of the eyelets, I think that would actually improve things quite a bit. Some serrated laces in here would really improve the general lockdown of the shoe. The Megablast for me is a bit of a faultless upper. It's got everything that I could possibly want in it. Padding in the right place on the tongue and around the ankle. A flexible toe box. It's very breathable and easy to clean as well. The tongue's got some smaller holes in it around about the front section here. Lets a bit of heat out. There's no overlays of any sort. A very good low weight, simple design. So in terms of the upper, the Megablast is superior on several levels. Midsole wise, the Flight Foam Turbo Squared out the box is really nice and compressive and soft. No need for any break-in. It's bouncy and quite a responsive ride. Lots of impact protection and you've got a very stable base here. It's not too wide, not too narrow. I think it's fine for most runners unless you really require some specific stability. Maybe a little bit too soft and inconsistent in the heel for some. You can certainly feel the extra stack that we've got here in the Megablast over the EVO SL. I think that makes the Megablast a somewhat more versatile shoe, certainly as the miles ratchet up. Just can handle those longer distance efforts a bit better than the EVO SL. Out the box, the Light Strike Pro's okay, but like I said, you put 100k into the shoe, it now feels like a different beast. More fun, great for some everyday, easier training. Maybe if you want to throw in a few faster reps, the EVO SL will handle it, though I would suggest it lacks the forefoot rigidity if you're going to go at like 5 or 10k pace. Absolutely fine if you're half or full marathon training, getting in some of those miles. I think the insole in the EVO SL doesn't really do the midsole any favours. It's very slippery on the top. I kind of like my insoles to have a slightly coarse nature about them. It sort of grips the sock, keeps your foot firmly planted in there, just doesn't give you the best connection with that midsole. The forefoot does have some ridges in there. If you take the insole out, you can feel them, which does help to provide a bit of flexibility in the front section of the shoe. You do have that torsion plate in the arch area that is very much there as a shank to stop the flexibility in that part of the shoe. The Megablast has no plates whatsoever. The foam itself does most of the heavy lifting when it comes to torsional rigidity. Though again, I think most people will be buying this shoe because they're full or half marathon training. It's certainly not a shoe that I would look to do like 5 or 10k racing in. Maybe okay for some reps. These are very lightweight training shoes. That's how I see them anyway. I still think it's a more versatile training tool than anything else. So midsole wise, I think I prefer the Megablast really. It's a little bit more versatile. I mean, if you can only afford to buy one and you want something that does loads of stuff, then the Megablast might be better. I think it can handle a variety of runs. Although the Evo SL's no slouch really. It's kind of like comparing a Gibson Les Paul Custom to a Gibson Les Paul Studio. If you understand that one, then you're in the right place. Outsole wise, the continental grip here that we've got here in the Evo SL is very good. It's got a coarse sort of pattern to it, though I found it doesn't hold up quite so well on smooth surfaces in very wet conditions. It can leave a bit to be desired. It's just on those sort of smooth, like either marble or sort of concrete areas, it'd be a little bit dangerous, especially if it's muddy. Just avoid the mud. The ridges on the Megablast are a little bit more robust. They're certainly a bit deeper. This seems to work pretty well in wet and dry conditions on road and pavement. Did try it on very light trail and that worked out okay. No real sliding on smooth wet surfaces as we have here in the Evo SL. Both shoes holding up well outsole wise so far. It's a bit of midsole discoloration, but you always get that. The Evo SL looks amazing really. It's only a little bit of very light wear in the midfoot area. Zip here, but I don't have as many miles in these as I do the Evo SL. Certainly thicker ridges here, considerable rubber in key areas. That might be vital to you as you head towards autumn and winter running. So overall, as you can see, the Megablast does have some key advantages over the Evo SL, but are they 80 quid's worth of advantages? I'm going to put them up on screen now and see what you think. You got better laces, better insole, more breathable upper. There's no tongue slide on the Megablast, a more versatile midsole, there's a bit more bounce and energy return there, softer out the box, no braking needed, and better outsole grip with thicker ridges. So I think if you're training for a full or half marathon, then this shoe could tick lots of the boxes for your rotation. If you're a hobby runner, you're not doing any sort of real long runs, maybe a running 3-4 times a week or something, the Evo SL is more than enough. I mean, you could upgrade this shoe, couldn't you? Buy yourself some extra serrated laces, maybe like 5 or 10 quid, 20 quid for some better insoles that'll improve the ride. I mean, you're already up to about 160 quid then. Is it better to just bite the bullet and get the Megablast? I mean, you can't change the tongue slide or the additional stack. So that's my take on the request for constant comparisons between these two shoes. I absolutely see why the Evo SL is such a popular model with runners right now, but these two are quite different shoes really when you get them on foot. There's numerous advantages that you've got in the Megablast. If you've run in these two shoes, please let us know down in the comments how you found them. Do you agree or do you disagree with me? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. A very quick musical interlude for you. Today comes from Dom and Roland with some new jungle music actually. Fantastic stuff. The Pantheon EP. I particularly like the track Suruti, which I believe means to be heard. There's some fantastic atmospheric sounds here, wonderful beats, very choppy, almost jazz style drumming I suppose. Almost sounds like something that could have been used in a sci-fi crime documentary, maybe a detective series. Imagine Columbo but wearing cyberpunk style gear, and rather than a lollipop he's got a lightsaber. Fantastic stuff from Dom and Roland. Really glad to see that, I think his name's Dom actually and Roland is the sampler. He's still producing music all this time later, like 30 years later or something, since I first heard some of his tunes. Go and check it out, the Pantheon EP. Thanks for tuning in people, hope you enjoyed today's video. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up like. Drop us a comment for the algorithm. My name's Ed Bud and I'll be seeing you